Well, I want to talk about dissonance and consonance. Dissonance is the idea, and I'm getting into theory here, so I'll try to make it as simple as possible. Dissonance is a combination of musical notes or tones that are very close together on the musical scale, and so they give a kind of tense feeling when you hear them. It sounds kind of like this. It's tense, and your ear naturally wants to do this. Your ear naturally wants to correct it. There's the same notes right there. That's called an octave. It's a perfect harmony, perfect first, root harmony, if you will. And all it is one note away. So that's dissonance. Consonance would be harmonious, if you will. It harmonizes, like your major chords. That's dissonance right there. There we go. There's consonance. See, they kind of go together, and usually you find that in your root, in your perfect fifth, your perfect third, which will be found in your major chords. And so the beauty of dissonance, even though it sounds terrible by itself, when used in a chord progression, it sounds beautiful, and you'll find it in almost every style of music. Here's an example of something I've written using dissonance. It's not perfect, but you can hear the dissonance moving to consonance. Take a listen. Combination of dissonance and consonance. Now really, I think that's consonance right there. So you got a consonance in the background the entire time, and all you're doing is changing one string to different notes. One really dissonant part that I wrote with that, and this is not in any order whatsoever the way the song goes, would be this riff. So you hear the dissonance really well right here. Da 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 da. You can even hear it in your voice. That's why I usually hum or ah or ooh notes, so I can, when I play them, to see how it would go. So you get the idea. Dissonance, consonance. Now, my guitar is in an open tuning right now, so don't try to follow my fingers thinking it's going to sound the same in the standard tuned guitar. It's not going to. I got a video titled Awesome Open Tuning, or maybe it's Awesome Guitar Tuning, something like that. You could find the tuning there, and probably an example of this song in its early form. Use an example. So dissonance, consonance. Actually, consonance would be. Now, don't get confused with I have to be dissonant and have no consonants in the chord I'm playing. Don't let it be that way. Don't let it become so theoretical and so, I think the word's pragmatic, to where it's like a machine that the input has to be the exact same way every time in order to get the right output. It doesn't have to be that way. Part of music theory and music, writing music, is that it can be however you want it to be. It's completely subjective to how good it sounds and how bad it sounds. But what you'll find in a lot of acoustic music is dissonance, and then move it to consonance. So, when next time you pick up the guitar, try to find take your normal major chord and add a dissonant note. For example, actually let me do this. Let me put it in another video clip for you so you can understand. Alright, so as I was saying, I'm going to give you an example of how to take a chord, a major consonant chord, and turn it into something dissonant. So let's take the A major chord, A major, which would sound like this. Oh, I'm sorry, it sounded like this. Okay, so A major. And let's turn it into a minor. So we'll take what's called the third note, the major third. It's on the B string. And take it down half a step, or one note, one tone. And what you're going to do is turn it to a flat 3 or a minor third. So it goes from to, sound like this. If you already know your minor, then just take your minor and follow what I'm about to do. So we take that chord right there. And what we're going to do is now take the octave, which is the same root note, which is an A, your root. Whatever the name of the chord is, A minor, G major, that first note, G, is going to be your root. So because we're playing an A minor, the root note is A. So what we're going to do is take the octave of A, which is on the G string on the 2nd fret, and we're going to move it up a whole step, which will take, if you know theory, what you're doing is taking your root and making it into a 2nd or a 9th, which would sound like this. So you have a lot of dissonance there. You have that minor third, and then you have that 2nd you're adding to it now. If you want to make it even more dissonant, take the 5th, which is a perfect 5th, that's a consonant tone, a consonant combination. You take your 5th, which is on the D string, the 2nd fret, and you're going to put it to the 3rd fret on the D string. What you're doing, you're augmenting your 5th, you're sharpening your 5th, which would sound like this. So let's go back to our A major, A minor, A minor 9th, that's 2nd, A minor 9th augmented. And what I do when I get such a dissonant chord like that, I try to find another note to add that really just kind of stands alone. And what I've added to this chord specifically is the 3rd fret on the E. I add that to the combination of an A minor 9th augmented, and it sounds like this. If you finger pick it, it sounds even better. So that's dissonance. You'll find dissonance in all different kinds of styles. For example, I'll give you one in distortion. You have your blues. That's dissonance, because what that is a major pentatonic, which is consonance, and then you're adding a flat 5, which makes a chromatic run of. You can also find a lot of dissonance in, let's say, Hirajoshi. Hirajoshi is a 6-tone scale. It's a Japanese scale. It can be either used between harmonic minor or major, and it sounds like this. If you played it in a chord, it's even more dissonant. Harmonic minor is pretty dissonant. Just that big gap really brings out the dissonant notes, and what it's actually doing, if you want to get theoretical, in harmonic minor you're cramming notes together, and also while you do that, in turn spreading them apart. So instead of your natural minor scale sounding like this, it sounds like this. And then it even gets more extreme sounding. You can really bring out the dissonance when you play a higher fret. And harmonic minor is typically your Egyptian sounding, or your flamenco, Hispanic sound. It depends on what style you use your harmonic minor scale with. So that's dissonance and consonance. I mainly focused on dissonance because consonance is what you're used to hearing, or at least I was in my time. Used to hearing major chords, happy, Barney and everything else the kids like to hear. It brings a happy mood to the listener, as opposed to dissonance can bring a scary, a sad, a mysterious, stressful, tense kind of mood, if you will. One last thing. Let me show you the use of dissonance in jazz and R&B, and how you have to be a great musician to know how to use dissonance in the way that R&B jazz artists use. Okay, I just want you to listen to the chords, the dissonance in the chords, and the move to some tones going to a consonance to really just bring out a unique mood in the music.